Well, spring is here and it's time to roll up our sleeves. And we've got sustainability expert and the founder of Big Green Purse, Diane McCarran, here on set to show us some ways that we can clean our homes in a more eco-friendly way that's healthier for our bodies, healthier for the planet, but it's still going to let our homes sparkle. Diane, so glad to see you.
Thank you for having me.
I love cleaning, but sometimes, I think about the toxins that are going into my lungs when you're breathing, and it's not so good. What are some of the things that we need to be concerned about when it comes to traditional cleaning products?
A lot of products, especially the spray products, they have something called, you'll read on the label, it'll say synthetic fragrance or fragrance, and those are really phthalates, and those are sort of nasty chemicals. I know when I inhale them, I almost get an immediate headache. So you want to skip the phthalates, you want to skip the synthetic fragrances. And honestly, a great rule of thumb is if you see things on that label and you cannot pronounce them, chances are they're synthetic, they could be people respond very differently to all these things, but I'd say simplify the ingredients and just buy things where you can really understand what you're reading on the label.
Yeah, and unfortunately with most cleaning products, majority of the ingredients, literally, you have to have a PhD in chemistry to understand.
Right.
So what are some healthier alternatives that we can simplify our cleaning routine?
And the thing that I always recommend to people is make your own. Water is the universal solvent. It cleans. They made the Grand Canyon, for goodness sake. It can certainly get at the grime in our kitchens. So start with water on almost every surface except wood, which we're going to talk about. Add a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of fragrance-free liquid detergent dish soap, and you're good to go on just about every surface.
And a lot of people are concerned that it just doesn't clean as well as some of the more toxic stuff. Is that just a myth?
Well, I certainly think so. I mean, I've got a 3-bedroom house with a dining room and a living room and a kitchen, and that's all I use, and it's a pretty clean place. I mean, nobody gets sick when they come to my house, so I think it's okay.
All right, well, show us what we should use on different surfaces. I know that there's different cleaning products for different things, and we want to make sure that we're making the most out of our cleaning routine.
Well, and one thing I want to say is the greenest way to clean is immediately. In other words, when you have a spill, wipe it up so that you don't have to worry about bringing in these nasty chemicals to get the job done.
Get right to it.
But here's something that I made myself, and this is, exactly what I was talking about. It's vinegar, a little bit of soap, and water, and it's great. I use it on almost every surface. You just clean it up and you spray it on, and that's all there is to it. And if you have something that requires a little bit more grit, no smell, I often use just common baking soda, and you sprinkle it on, and it's just good. It's got enough grit in it that it can get the job done. If for some reason you just don't feel comfortable doing that, you can still get a product like Bonami. All this is pulverized stone.
People love this stuff.
And no fragrance. It's absolutely safe to use, and you can use it on every surface except wood or glass.
And none of the nasty ingredients. It's a pretty simple list there. Okay, so we've got our stove tops and glass. Does this work on granite too?
I would say that you don't want to use a product that has vinegar on granite because it is acidic and it can etch it up a little bit. But, again, look at this. All you really need is soap and water on something like that. Another thing we need to look out for are antibacterial agents in cleaning products. And it seems like everything now has an antibacterial agent in it. But the buildup of these antibacterials is creating superbugs that are becoming less responsive to the antibiotics that we use.
Oh, wow.
So
we're training them.
It's better to not use antibacterial agents and just stick with soap and water and things that actually still get the job done.
And that gets rid of the germs just fine.
Absolutely.
So how about stainless steel? We've got a refrigerator over here. Would you use any particular product on that?
Well, I would use soap and water and a little bit of vinegar. The nice thing about soap on a refrigerator is the refrigerator gets a little grimy. So having a little bit of soap in the solution works really well. But the surprise is that you can actually use olive oil to polish up.
Okay, let's go check it out.
And I just put a little bit on a cloth, and you'll be surprised at how, it just
really
shines
makes it shine.
Up.
Wow.
So why buy something?
Olive oil, I never would have thought of that.
Right, it doesn't leave behind a residue, and it doesn't leave behind a nasty smell that you have to deal with, and look how pretty that is. So,
love it, love it. Okay, what about the part that everybody thinks is impossible, the floors? They get so dirty. What do we do, especially hardwood?
What I do is I actually use a product that's easily available at a place like Ace Hardware, and I'm not a sponsor for these products, but I think that they really work. And I just, again, you put a little bit on the floor, wipe it up, you can mop it up, and the thing I like about this is that it cleans it and it leaves it behind a nice shine as well.
Yeah, nice little shine.
And it's easy as that. It cleans, it shines, you can't complain.
Can't complain, and no smell. Great. Well, it feels so good to do spring cleaning. And guess what? That's not all we've got coming up. Some ways to go sustainable with your produce. Don't go away.